is another recording to show what I've been dealing with since November of 2007. I've asked the landlords repeatedly over those 2 years to fix the hole in the roof, and they haven't. It's now January, March, April, May. It's now June 2010, and as you can see, after the rainstorm, still nothing's happening. This is not a little tiny leak. This is a flood. And it's been like this again for almost 2 years, 2.5 years. Now I get served, process served, for 3 days notice to quit or pay the rent. The rent, the rent's not even due yet. And the rent that was due, I was paying back in increments. Now, as you can see, 2.5 years of this, complaining about the leak. The furnace doesn't work and hasn't for 2 years. They sent four people over a 6-month period. Never been done. I've had to use the burners on my stoves to keep the house dry or warm. And it's cost me $300 a month just in my propane bills alone. Now I want to set the camera down for a second and have my son hold the camera and show you that every 2 hours or less, this is what I have to do all winter for 2 years. Alright, as you can see, it's coming down pretty good. This is like an everyday thing when it rains. Here's the process I have to do every day during the winter for 2 years. The bucket's much too heavy to pick up, so I got to do this every time. I got to transfer from one to the other. This is for 2.5 years now, every winter. Now, you take this, and you put this over here. As you can see, my furniture's been covered because it's ruining my furniture. And then I dump it out here. Then I come back, try to find a spot for it, and then do it once again. This is every two hours, I'd say, including in the middle of the night. Now, you see from the floor, it's totally ruined. I don't know what's going on down here. This is how I'm doing it all the time. I've asked repeatedly, and the excuse I get is we'll do it when it stops raining. That makes a whole lot of sense, considering in the wintertime in California, it rains all the time. So here we go again. See, I have to keep this up. I have no place to put this, and it splashes on my furniture. So that's good enough now for another couple of hours. Any questions? Here's a dinosaur furnace. This is how they left it last time they were here. The last time they heard about the furnace was in February. Now, you can see through this thing here. One guy says it's this. Well, it's not that. The other guy says it's this. Check out this furnace. They've left it all disconnected. Both places disconnected. Right there. It's been like this since February. I've asked about it over and over again. I have assurances that it will be fixed, but nothing's been done. And as you can see, it's nice out now. But then now, the air conditioning unit doesn't work. I want them to fix it. They'll get their money in escrow. I'll put the money like I told them, and now retaliatory measures against me is to have me evicted because I want things done in the house. These people don't understand there's laws against that. Here's an example how I have to heat my home for the last almost 3 years now. Since the furnace hasn't worked, there's one, there's two. I've got to keep at least 2 burners on all winter time, 24 hours a day, to keep the house warm. It's inefficient. It costs me a fortune. It's on my stove. It's here in the kitchen. There's the leak. There's the stove. This is how I do it for almost 3 years. I've complained about it over and over. The furnace hasn't been fixed. They've sent in at least 4 people over a 6-month period of time Every 2 or 3 months somebody comes over, shrugs their shoulders, and says, well, get right on it. Here we are in June, and now that the furnace is warm enough, we don't need a furnace. I tried the air conditioning yesterday, and guess what? The air conditioning isn't working, so I told about that. The thing I've told them that I've complained about is that the oven doesn't work. As you can see, there's the oven. It doesn't work. The gas doesn't work. You turn it on here, and nothing happens. It's been like this for 2 years. Luckily, I don't cook a lot, but I like to have the things fixed. The oven's broken too. That's item number 4.